Hello viewers, Super GT here. What's the best way to absolutely kill your sportsmanship rating? Well, obviously turn up at the Nürburgring Nordschleife at night. I think that's one good way of doing it. So we're going to attempt to have a couple of races around here, driving the Mercedes SLS. Now qualifying times were so ridiculously unpredictable. Just over 8 minutes was a really good time. Just under 8:30 was my time. The gaps were huge. Into the first corner from 10th on the grid. Just really trying to go around the outside, then trying to creep our way through the inside of turn number 2. I'm in 10th, but I've got the inside line here on the Spaniard into turn number 5. Got it done. Actually, no, it's not turn number 5, not on this configuration, it's turn number 3. So one position game, we can hit some contact behind. It's not going very nicely, and this is a theme, I think, of the Nürburgring Nordschleife. It gets very cosy. It can be very difficult to overtake. Often the best opportunities are here on the GP circuit. More contact. I've just about avoided it by taking a nice outside line. Hungarian slow as he rejoins. I've gained another position. Not too bad a start so far. Up 3 positions, up into 7th, and gaining massively on this German. As we look for a move into turn 10, he goes fairly narrow on the braking zone. I'm going to force my way alongside, but he's going to have the inside now for the Wolfsteiner curve. He's going to keep 6th place for now. 5th place, just getting a penalty, couldn't quite see what for. But this is the Nürburgring Nordschleife, famous circuit, or infamous if you like. So look for the inside line. Is it quite going to come off here? No, the braking zone's a lot shorter for this secondary chicane, which is a lot faster than the other one. Looking up the inside as we now turn left onto the Nordschleife. Hasn't quite come off for me. So here it is then, the green hell. The Nordschleife is really difficult, and as I said, hard to overtake, and at night it's going to really amplify things. The difficulty is ramped up, can't quite see as much. There's not many floodlit sections. It can be an idea just to stick with someone else so you can actually see where you're going. You have a reference in front of you. As long as that person isn't driving off into the wall, then you've got someone to follow. We're going to fast forward here through the section, over the Flugblatt section. Very fearsome, fast right-hander over a crest. And, well, speeding up through here. You see just about keeping pace, although the guys ahead just beginning to pull away slightly as I actually gained solid through that section. So here we are then, a couple more kilometres into the circuit, and here's another theme of the circuit really. These two guys going very deep and crashing into the wall. It's a circuit very much of not having to really be completely on the pace. It's just much about not making mistakes. Track position is very important around here. Once you can get in front of people, it can be very hard for them to get past you. There's not many overtaking opportunities, so minimise your mistakes, which is exactly what I didn't do there. The Norwegian just creeping by with not much space to go through as I kind of rejoin the circuit awkwardly. So down into my comfortable position of 6th. Got a fair few people behind. We're being lit up from the rear end from the guy from the Spaniard in 7th. So coming up then into a very difficult corner uphill, over a crest through the right-hander, just tips you was on the curb. It's going to spin me around doing a nice little 360. I'm going to lose 1, 2, 3 positions anymore. No, there's a big queue behind. Hopefully I can just about get up to speed before that massive mob catches up and mobs me into the next turn. Is it quite going to happen? No. Thankfully, just about done enough to not get overtaken by that big nasty looking group. So this is the end of lap number 1. 2 laps on offer here. The car just did not turn into that corner enough and make the most of the banking, losing 2 positions as a result of that. So as I said earlier, it's a theme around here of not making mistakes, and well, I'm doing the exact opposite. I'm making loads of them, which obviously is not helping. Back down to 10th, which is where I started. Made a promising beginning and then just made it really hard for myself. Norwegian there, very slow, so gaining 1 more position at least. So at the end of lap 1, no, the 10th, I think someone may well have just skipped the pit stop altogether. But we do have a big group up ahead, 7th, 8th and 9th, all fighting very closely indeed. And the racing isn't always that close around here. Changing to the hood view because that stupid message was just so distracting for me. So coming up into my bad corner once again, this is where I dropped it on the last lap. And well, let's make it 2 out of 2, 100% record. Go for another nice little 360. Car didn't quite want to engage there as we tried to pull away. So again, my consistency, well, it's there because I'm spinning off on every lap, which is consistent. And we're just about going to get mobbed this time into the next corner. There we go, there's the contact into the wall. Thank you very much for that. Down 3 positions. And well, that could be irreversible damage, hopefully. Try to get back past them. This is the end of the race. Up in 11th position. A little bit deep into the final chicane. And it's going to be, well, a race to forget really. And coming through 11th, one worse than where we started. And it's quite clear from that, minimise your mistakes. If I had just made no mistakes but gone quite a bit slower, then it might have been a lot better. 34 seconds off of the lead in the end. Sorry, 39 seconds off. So really not good at all. We can do better, and we're going to try and do better here. This guy asking me, are you a beginner? And of course we just have to confirm the facts that yes indeed I am a beginner. I mean by evidence of that race I just did, I am a beginner. It's very plain to see. So here we go again then. I'm driving the other Mercedes, so this is the 2016 version. Let's see how this one goes. Into the first corner, deep on the brakes, I'm going to look for the outside line again. Guy ahead just kind of runs me out, fair enough. The pole here, just getting a penalty. Watch that again. That pole got a penalty. I just can't work out what for. Through the fast sweeping chicane, up behind the German, I'm going to look for the pass. The space sort of opened up and I kind of got a nice inside line there. And we made contact, it looks clumsy. Still on the inside line though. And eventually at the second time of asking, I'm going to run him quite rudely wide. But we are going to go up into 8th place. So then over the crest now into the fast sweeping left. Here before Arenberg. And just running onto the grass. The car just did not react nicely to the bump halfway through the turn. And well, it seems to be that I'm not learning my lesson because I'm making yet more mistakes, and this time gonna get oh boy, gonna get slapped with a 4-second penalty. Not good at all. You can't you just can't write this stuff really. Get a 4-second penalty just for actually losing. I probably lost about 4 seconds and about 8 positions. And again, I think the heat in the UK is just killing me. That's my racing driver excuse today. I can't drive because it's too hot. And well, the only bonus of that crash is that I got rid of the penalty. Down into last place, and this is the point where, well, my dreams just evaporate into thin air, and you just eventually give up. And fast forwarding through the misery and pain. I mean, at this point, I'm just gouging my eyes out. Waiting for the race to end. Didn't really want to. Well, okay, we're going to get disqualified either way. So nice little messages here. Nice to see you again. Have a good race. So it's always good to see that in the races, guys. When you're in with me, to have a nice little message is always good to see. Always thank you for those messages. But here we go then. I've gone back to a car where I feel a little bit more comfortable. The Lexus. Can we go about having a good race at last? Can we do it? Is it possible for Super GT to have a good one? It takes me a couple of races normally. Around the outside of the Spaniard, it's a good move, and then our little Polish friend here he's just going to get victimised completely. He's the meme of the race, and he's just going to get spun around. So he got a penalty last time for no reason on that corner. This time he gets spun around for no reason on that corner. So he really is not having the thick of the green. It really is not having it all his own way today. So up to 7th in the Lexus Group 3 car, so I feel a bit more comfortable in this car. And I don't drive the Mercedes very often. Now coming through this turn, I just absolutely murder this guy. I just absolutely kill him, right? And you watch this, no penalty. I don't get a penalty for that. That is as obvious as a penalty. In fact, I should have got a 20-year sentence for that. I should still be serving that. for many years to come. But I get nothing. So very interesting inconsistency in the system there. All it was really was the car got a tiny bit of oversteer. I tried to correct it, and then there wasn't oversteer. So I just turned left basically, and then that guy just happened to be in the way. So sorry about that. And I mean, at least I'm honest in saying that I should be penalised for many years for that incident. But we must continue, I suppose, as if it never happened. Let's just see what we can conjure up in this race, and hope that that Portuguese guy can sort of recover to something respectable. Let's see where he can get to, given that would have pushed him back down to something resembling the back of the pack. So sitting in 6th place here with well, how long is the lap? About 8 minutes. 6 minutes remaining in this lap at least, and then another 8.25 minutes in the next. So they're just really trying to keep pace here. I mean, the key lesson really is don't make too many mistakes. You see, they're just backing off. The car wanted to go away from us. The Lexus, it can get like that sometimes. TCS1 is definitely a viable option in this car because it does like to spin up the tyres as you get out of the corners. So just trying to really minimise the mistakes again, trying to keep the car completely under control, and just hope that we can beat people. We can beat people by default of them making mistakes really, and by penalties. You can see here the two guys ahead both have penalties. So as long as I can stay close to their rear bumper, obviously don't force it too much. If they're quicker than me, they're going to pull away. Don't try to fight that too much. If I can stick close to them, then there's a very good chance I can finish 4th as it stands here, although there's still a fairly long way left to go. Anything can happen, and it normally does around here. The sparks flying as we hit the bottom of that hill. There's a possible mistake, just about recover though. Don't fight the car, just let it happen, and just about recover to the circuit. And again, a poor exit as the car kind of wanted to squirm away through the slow speed corner. Just about keep it under control though. We're coming under pressure from a fellow Brit behind. We really just trust that he's not going to go to the back of us, and just try to hit our own braking zone, and just don't really think about what he's doing. So in fact, the top or the 3 guys ahead of me all have penalties. So that's very interesting to note. So I suppose 3rd place is definitely possible, as we have someone recovering. No, not recovering at all. Someone spinning off the Russian, having a tough time through the triple apex right. Going to gain a position out of that. So again, just making the most of someone else's misfortune or lack of talent, one of the two, or lack of consistency. Up into 5th position, not bad. So then, this is the corner where we definitely need to be careful. Avoid the curb on the left-hand side. On the exit, not like that guy has done. The German on home ground, he's really feeling the ground now as he's on the grass. Into the carousel. I've misjudged this many times, and I'm going to misjudge it once again. And I didn't quite rejoin, but the guy behind, my fellow Brit, I think he kind of got put off by I think he might not have known if I was rejoining or not. And he's just dropped it halfway through the carousel. That's going to give me a bit of respite as we come up to finish the first lap using 70% of our fuel, or 69, and recovering here, finishing the pit stop. We're down to 5th, quite interestingly, so we've lost a position in the pit stop. You see 2nd and 3rd and 4th, it's driving away from this tight corner here, a couple of seconds ahead. So quite interestingly, the guy in the lead didn't elect to go for the pit stop. You can see there by the fact that he's got the fastest lap on the left hand side. So we've got a yellow flag on the X of the Nürburgring GP circuit. Who is this? It's the German in 4th place. He's made a big mistake, or has had some sort of coming together, possibly with the Hungarian in 3rd, and has dropped it on the way into the Nordschleife. So going to go up into 4th. That's a bit of a stroke of luck. Just doing enough, literally by a second. I'm about a second ahead of him. So you think when someone crashes, you know, it could take 8 seconds, or it could take 9. And in this case, it's just taken 1 second too long for him. and it's done enough for me to get ahead. And as we've said, it's crucial on this circuit to get track position. As long as I don't make any really big errors, then I should be okay. There is, of course, though, the very big long straight at the end of the circuit, which is a very, very good overtaking opportunity as long as your car allows for it. There is, of course, slipstreaming available, so it could be by slipstream as well. If your car is good in a line, then you stand every chance of getting past someone if you can just wait and hold out for that long back straight. So on the brakes nicely this time around into here, not making quite the same mistakes as we've done in the past, so quite a lot less mistakes this time around. We have driven a little bit wide at times, had a bit of a squirm on the exit on a few corners, but no serious errors where we've really dropped it and ended up facing the oncoming traffic. So at this moment here, we're okay. Yellow flag I just briefly spotted there. There is third place. That is the guy who elected not to pit. So I don't know where he was before all of the pit stops, but as it stands here, he's up in third. I don't think he'll be able to keep this until the end because he is going to have to fuel save significantly from here on in. I think myself and the guy behind are at least going to get past him, so he may well be fighting for fifth at best. Down the hill, long braking zone this, longer than you think because of the downhill nature. He drives off into the barrier, so obviously he doesn't think it's long enough. He's going to just drive into the wall. So I'm into third. This is I'm perhaps punching above my weight here. About 5 seconds off of the Hungarian in second, and about 12 off the Czech guy in the lead. And the German just behind, hovering about 1.2 behind me. So he hasn't really closed in on me to put me under pressure. So that's a positive note. See if we can just avoid the curb on the exit here. Yes, we do. We've learnt that lesson. So quite annoyingly here, the fuel message showing up pretty much as I left the pit lane, which is quite silly, quite annoying. I'm not going to go to the hood view though. I think I just simply drive better in this view, even though that message is very distracting. So then, final, let's say third of the lap. Let's see if I can keep third and keep this German behind. He's on home territory. Perhaps he was born within the confines of the ring. He knows this place like the back of his hand, and I just made all of that up just to really build up the anticipation of this race. So, coming through this section, I love this section of the circuit. Fast flowing corners, over crest, down hills, left, right, left, right, left, right. It just comes at you. It just never ends. It's relentless. We have a yellow flag. The Hungarian is off. There he is. He's got a penalty for good measure. I'm up into second. How has that happened? Wow, quite how this has happened, I do not know. Well, it happened because I started punting off Portuguese people and making the most of other people's crashes. That is the main gist of it, really. So, with about a minute and a half left to go, can we pull off the Nürburgring Nordschleife race of the century? Quite frankly, it's going to go down in the history books, no doubt. They'll be talking about this one for thousands of years to come. Into the final section before the long straight, I'd need to get a margin. I think once you're within at least half a second of the car in front, then you should definitely be picking up that toe. So if we just build that margin up slightly more than that, and the guy behind won't be able to get into my slipstream and get back past me on this long straight. So here we go then. Oh, just having to get on the brakes halfway through the turn. Not an ideal finish, not an ideal lead out. Onto this back straight, you can see just how close he is. 4 tenths. The gap is going up slightly. Perhaps he had a bad shift, but it is now coming down 4 tenths. Slightly down to 3 tenths. Is he going to do enough? The straight is ending as we go up the hill. He is getting very close. What car is he driving? I don't know. He's going to pull over to the right hand side. He's just about got the momentum. He's driving the Corvette. The Lexus just about not quick enough. I'm going to tuck into his slipstream now. Is it going to be enough? I'm really going to have to attack him into this final chicane. It's really not a good place to overtake though. This guy ahead makes a mistake, and it's going to be me making a mistake because I'm really trying to push to get a good exit. I think that was my only chance of taking that position back. It was worth a try. We're going to finish third. Now it's a bit disappointing to get overtaken that late, but it was a good race, apart from killing, I think it was Zephyr there in 12th. And I suppose he did well to recover somewhat after getting murdered by Super GT, the worst rammer in the history of Gran Turismo Sport. I need to be going down to Sportsmanship E-Racing, I think. But there we go, guys. A couple of races around the Nürburgring Nordschleife. Let me know your thoughts. I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching. As always, goodbye.
Listen.